Hey, how you doing? It's Justin here for another little video lesson. In this one today we're going to be checking out a mini bar. Cool, eh? Now this sort of chord type is not the sort of thing that you'd find in many beginners books. A lot of people kind of avoid this chord till much later on. But I've had quite a lot of success teaching this to beginners, particularly those with, how should we put it, large fingers. Now, if you are heavy of hand, then you may have found trying to cram all your fingers into that second fret to play your A chord extremely difficult. And in which case, this is your little lifesaver going, hallelujah, I can play my A chord. It's that moment for you. Because what we're going to be doing is we're going to be playing the whole of our A chord with just one finger. So let's move over to a little close-up and check out how exactly we're going to be doing that. Well, here we are. This is what our A chord looks like now. A little bit weird, isn't it? Okay, let me get rid of those fingers so you can see what's going on here. And you'll see there, what I've done is I'm just hitting all three notes there with my first finger. Now, what's really important to realize when you do this is that we don't want the thinner string. The thinner string, which used to be open string, is now muted. Now, if we let our first finger cover all four strings, we end up with kind of an Elvis chord, which in that instance is wicked, but actually most of the time we don't want that. We want to just have a regular A. And the secret to holding this little bar down is exactly the positioning of your finger. Now, in order to show you that properly, we're going to have to go to another kind of a stranger angled shot. So let me move over to that now. Try and get your first finger in, like in the second fret, holding down strings 2, 3, and 4, and then you should be ready for this next little weird close-up, where hopefully the penny will drop and it'll make sense. So here we are with our interesting looking new A bar chord thingy. So what we're doing here is I'm using my first finger, the first section of my first finger, to hold down strings 4, 3, and 2. And in order to get a good amount of pressure there, I'm really forcing that knuckle forward. The knuckle right at the bottom of the screen there, I'm pushing that forward as far as I can. And that's what helps give me my pressure on those all three of those strings. You'll see that if I let the knuckle fall behind, as I start pulling, trying to get my finger harder on the strings, it kind of lifts the finger up. It works like a little lever or a seesaw that's pushing the end of my first finger up. Really what we're after is trying to get that knuckle right far forward. Now, if I bring the rest of my fingers around to where it would normally be positioned, you can see you can't even see the A chord really, and you certainly can't see that knuckle, which is why a lot of people have trouble with this, because they don't see exactly how it should go. But you see, if I just move my fingers out of the way, look at the angle of that first finger. Even if I take it off the string, you can see it's really at a right angle to the rest of my finger, and then it's just pushing down. It's almost bending a little bit backwards at that first joint. Now, if you can, it is possible even to lift that knuckle far enough to get an open E string ringing out. But most of the time, you don't even want that. As long as you get the notes, the A, the partial bar, that thinner string can just get muted, and that's fine. But the secret to getting your A bar chord like that is getting that knuckle really far, as far forward as you possibly can. Well, I really hope you enjoy this little tussle with this new mini bar A chord. It's not for everyone. So I'd say in general it works out about 40% of my students really like playing A like this, and the rest of them hate playing it that way for ages. So don't be worried if you don't really get on with playing it that way. It's cool. I'm just showing it to you because it really is useful for anyone with a bigger sort of finger. It's a lot easier to play an A chord like that, and it's definitely worth learning. And I must say, in my general playing these days, if I'm going to play an A chord, most of the time it's that one. I find it a hell of a lot easier than trying to put the three fingers in that same fret. That doesn't work for me at all. So I mostly use the mini bar. But you don't feel like you have to use it right now. And I mean, let's face it, who doesn't like a mini bar? Well, except the prices. Anyway, have a go with that chord, play about with it a bit, and we're on to looking at how to change between all of these new chords now. So I'll see you for that lesson shortly.